because you know that if they're there for you in real life, they are there for you for real. It's not some online bullshit where like you're sitting there talking to a computer screen and they just kind of have to make it up so that they can get this story over with. I've had my fair share of online relationships, and every single time it leaves me completely baffled. The online friendships are the best, but they also are the worst, the absolute worst. So I was laying in bed and I thought about somebody that I used to be really, really close with. I used to talk to her every single day for like 7 months straight. If you can even believe that, every single day for 7 months straight. And, you know, I thought about her and I went through our old messages. You know, I was just curious. And, you know, I read maybe like 0.2% of our total chat log and then shit like that. And just reading it just kind of like pissed me off, you know? Because like we had such a great relationship and yet it ended for literally nothing. Like she was one of the closest friends that I've ever had, and yet like we just stopped talking. And it just made me realize like online friendships are not for me. I hate online friendships now. Since then I haven't had any online friends, and then I try to stay away from that because I'm afraid of like how close you can get to somebody. You know, you can be super, super, super close with people. When it's online, you don't have the fear of somebody judging you when you tell them something. You can tell them anything. You can open up as much as you want, and they can open up as much as they want. And there's no fear of like how you're gonna be judged because you're not seeing these people in real life. And when you're not seeing people in real life, when you're not making eye contact, looking at each other in real life, it's so much easier to open up to people. And for a lot of people, that could be a really good thing, you know, because a lot of people don't get to open up so much. Being able to open up allows you to, you know, just get things off your chest, you know, talk to somebody about a problem that you might have that you don't feel comfortable talking about to somebody else. But at the same time, I feel like the openness I feel like it's a horrible thing to be so open with somebody and then that relationship fizzles out and you become nothing. You know, your relationship is nothing. You're reduced to literally just the history in your chat logs, and that's it. And to me, that's so sad, like how you can be so close to somebody and then never talk ever again. I don't know about you guys, but for me, like all of my online friendships have fizzled out at some point. Like, it's not like we got into an argument or anything like that and we just like hated each other. It was not on bad terms at all. Like they just, you know, we slowly stopped talking to each other, and then at some point we just stop and we don't text each other anymore. We don't talk to each other anymore, and that's it. There's no bad blood or anything in between us, but we just stop. For me, it's like so sad that you can be so close to somebody for such a long time and then it just ends. It just fizzles out like nothing. For me, I can almost compare it to like a breakup, because with a breakup, like you and your partner used to be super close to each other. You used to be so intimate with each other and tell each other everything. You knew every single thing about your partner. But then after your breakup, maybe you had a bad argument or something, right? You walk past your ex and, you know, you don't even try to make eye contact. You know, you treat them like they're a stranger, like you don't know them anymore. But in the back of your mind, like you know that you've known each other. You really do know each other. More than anybody probably knows them, you know them. And the reason why I bring that up is with an online friendship, it's almost like the same thing. Because it's so easy to open up to each other, you almost have like a relationship. Like you're damn near dating, you feel me? Like if it was under different circumstances, you might be dating with the amount of opening up that you're doing with each other, you know? And the reason why I say that it's just as bad as a breakup is because let's say in a breakup, like a couple has an argument over something, and then they decide like this is not gonna work out. And so they end it right there. They say like this is done, this is over. And so it's like set in stone that it's over, it's done. And so when you wanna go back to talk to them and you wanna reach out to your ex or whatever, in the back of your mind, like you know, like, oh, this is done, like we shouldn't be doing this, you know? Because it's been set in stone, like we're done, it's over. But when it's with an online friendship, there's no bad blood, right? There's no like argument or anything like that. You just slowly stop talking to each other over time. And then things fizzle out, and then at some point you just stop talking to them forever, basically, right? And so you might want to go back and talk to them again, but you can't, because you're like, damn, maybe they don't feel the same way about how like our relationship used to be. Maybe they don't care about me as much as they used to. Maybe if I reach out to them, things are not going to be the same, the vibe's not going to be the same, right? You can't bounce back jokes anymore like you used to be able to. And what stops me from doing it is because I know like I can already see the scenario happening in my head that if I reach out to that person, what they're gonna do is just, you know, have a little bit of small talk between us, you know, ask them, you know, how have you been doing? You know, I've been good. Like, I've been going to school. Like, you know, what have you been studying? Oh, I've been doing, you know, engineering. Oh, what have you been doing for hobbies? And, oh, you know, I've been doing, you know, sports, arts and crafts. You know, I've been drawing, reading. Oh, like, that's great. Oh, yeah, like, that's awesome. Like, I'm really happy for you, you know? And then the conversation just fizzles out again. And what progress have you made? Basically nothing. You might as well have not said anything to them at all. That's in my head though. I get if like other people don't feel the same way. Now I have friends that do have a lot of online friends, right? And I also used to be chronically online. I used to have like restricted only online friends basically for like a good like couple of years of my life, maybe like 2 or 3 years, especially during COVID. It was peak because, you know, you can tell them anything. It doesn't matter like what the fuck it is. You can tell them whatever. And they're not gonna judge you to your face, at least. they might, you know, say LOL, but then have like a straight face behind the screen, but they're not gonna be like, you know, looking at you weird, you know? And even if they do, you're not gonna be able to know. But with the friendship that you have in person, like you can go meet at some place and you can hang out, you can talk, and they physically impact your life, you know? They influence your life directly, whereas in an online friendship, they can have, you know, a little bit of input here and there. They can, you know, respond to what you're saying, but they don't have that direct impact on your life as somebody in person could. And to me, like, I can't have an online friendship anymore because I feel like I'm investing so much of my energy, so much of my time, so much of my commitment to this friendship. And chances are, like, I'm not gonna gain that much out of it. I don't know if I'm just crazy, but like the thing about online friendships is that they are so good that when it ends, it is so devastating, you know? It is so devastating. And I've had so many of my online friendships just end by fizzling out. Like we just stop talking and that's it. Like there's no like agreement like, oh, like we're done. Like there's no, I guess like compromise of like, oh, you know, we're over, you know, things are done. Like I'm gonna go this way, you go that way. Like no, you just kind of fizzle out and then the conversation becomes really dry and you stop having that like vibey thing with each other and then it's over. Yo, it's me editing this video. I just wanted to reiterate a point that I wanted to make earlier, but I forgot, which is that with an online friendship, your main method of contact is texting and calling each other, right? Whereas, you know, with a real life friendship, your main method of contact is seeing each other in person. And so maybe the friendship fell out because one person moved away or one person had to go do something for work maybe or for school. And so, you know, there's a physical distance in between you that separates you, right? Now with an online friendship, yeah, the physical distance is still there, but the main method of contact was always texting and calling. You know, there was always a physical distance. So it's not like it's out of place for now to be different than before, you know? Maybe they got something going on, but you know, they could still go out of their way to text you and call you back. But when they don't text you and when they don't call you, to me, it usually implies that they don't really care enough, that it doesn't matter to them as much as it used to. And in an IRL friendship, it might fizzle out. And because of that separation, you're not going to be talking to each other as much. And texting and calling was not the main method of contact. And so it's going to be a little weird to contact each other like that, you know? So it makes sense that that would be a little iffy, but with an online friendship, it doesn't make sense because that was already the way that you were talking to each other. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm just like yapping right now, which I am, but like in a worse way. So like I said, when that one person in your online friendship doesn't want to text you or call you, it kind of like implies that they don't really care enough or that you don't matter to them anymore, which makes sense, which is why it hurts more than an IRL friendship, you know? I just wanted to make that point clear. So online relationships just they're not for me. You know, like I said, I have a lot of friends who have a ton of online friends and they are so close to their online friends. But for me, it just wouldn't work because like they just don't have that direct influence on your life. The great thing about online friendships is that you can bounce back and forth with each other. Like you can vibe so easily. There's no fear of like what the other person is going to think about you. So you can kind of just like say whatever you want. You can make dumb jokes. You can say stupid shit. And they're probably gonna laugh, they're probably gonna play along with you, and they're probably gonna vibe because there's no like social standard of like, this is how you're supposed to act because you're in public, and like you can't say this because like people are gonna think that you're weird. Like no, it's just you and them having like a great time, you know? You're just having fun. But the thing about online relationships is that you can only do so many things. You can only basically talk to each other via text, call, maybe, FaceTime, maybe, you know, play Roblox or some shit, you know? Fucking DBZ Tycoon or whatever the fuck they do now. Blox Fruits. I've heard of that one. Yeah, no, like there's only so many things that you can do with an online friendship, and you're not gonna see them for a while, you know? You're not gonna, maybe you make plans to like see them in the future, but you're not gonna see them in the near future, and it's gonna be a while. And so they don't directly affect your life in that moment. And they can, you know, they can bring input to your life. They can say like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. They can respond to your stuff, but they can't, you know, be there for you physically. When you need it most, they cannot be there for you. With an IRL friendship, I don't know why I'm saying IRL like I'm fucking typing it out, but with a real life friendship, like you can meet with them, you can hang with them, you can vibe with them, you can sit and fuck, like who knows where. You can talk to them and they can come for you literally there. Like you're physically there, they can come for you there. And it's so different, like talking to each other about your problems and talking about your issues and bringing up and ranting and just venting all this shit to somebody in real life, because you know that if they're there for you in real life, they are there for you for real, you know? It's not some online bullshit where like you're sitting there talking to a computer screen and they just kind of have to make it up so that they can get this story over with. Am I crazy for thinking that? I feel like I'm just totally delusional now. I feel like I have this warped perception of online friendships. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. That's it. I appreciate you for watching this video. If you did, I ranted so much. I've been recording this for maybe only like 17 minutes, but I've been ranting like on and on and on and on. I feel like I've been reiterating the points that I've been making over and over again. Thanks for listening though, Tyvee. That's another episode of, I don't know what this is called, but yeah, thanks for watching.